So we're almost at the point where we can do our big CSS project. But before we do that, I just want to show you a little bit of styling links because they're very important and there's some quite useful things that we can do with them. So first off, if you can remember this from a couple of videos ago, can you create a link to say google.com, which is not underlined, but then underlines when you hover over it with your mouse? Go for it. All right, hope you managed to do that. To create a link, of course, we use an A and then an href to refer to where we want it to go. I wonder if any of you put google.com like that in your link and then clicked and then got an error. Can you think why that would be? It's because you need the HTTP at the top to tell your browser that this is not a relative link. So without that, your browser will actually go to google.com on your website, which in this case, of course, doesn't exist. So you need to put HTTP at the front and then : / and then probably www. Is a good idea, even though google.com will work without it. So there's our link. Just go back and now make sure that that works. Yep, wonderful. This is of course underlined though, so let's change our styles so that the standard A link is not underlined. And we do that with text decoration none. But then if we want it to be underlined on hover, we use the pseudo class hover and then text decoration underline, as we've seen before. Okay, so it's not underlined there, underlined when you hover over. Fantastic. So a couple of new things I want to show you. The first is that you can get a link to open in a new tab, which is particularly useful if you want to link to something which is off your website, but leave your website open. So let's copy our Google link to see how we do that. All we do is we set the target attribute of the link to blank. And that will then open a new tab. So Google in a new tab, just so we know which one's which, and open the link in it. Let's have a look. There we go. Fantastic. I think I'm just going to put those in paragraph tags so that they look a little bit more separated. There we go. And then I just want to show you a couple more of these pseudo classes. So we can use hover to decide what it looks like when someone hovers over it. So at the moment it's underlined. We can also use visited to change what it looks like when the user has been there. So if I change this link to a website that I've not been to before, pretty sure I haven't been to google.se, for example, then you can see it's blue. So blue is the standard color for links that I haven't been to before, and purple is the color for links that I have been to before. But we can change that and we can make that whatever we like. So for example, we might want visited links to be not green, but green for some reason. And then you can see that one becomes green. This one is still blue, but if I click on it and then go back, you can see now it's green because my browser knows that I've been there. So there's a couple more pseudo classes that you can use if you like. To find them, you could just search for pseudo classes links, something like that should get you there. There you go. Good old W3 Schools again. Shows you what they are. So these are the examples. We've seen visited and hover. There's also just a normal link. So if we wanted to style a link that hasn't been visited and is not being hovered over, then we can do that. And an active link, i.e. the link of the page that we're on at the moment, then we can use a : active to style that specifically if we wanted to do that. There we go. So congratulations, you've made it to the end of the core part of the CSS section of the Complete Web Developer course. It's quite an achievement and you've learned a huge amount. The best way to keep that all in your head though is to practice it. And one of the best ways that I've learned to do this is by attempting to copy existing websites. And that's what we'll be doing in the next few videos.